Satchel from Steel Panther. You're listening to Metal Stream Radio with Metal Matt, and he's totally naked from the waist down.
Hey guys, Metal Matt back again for Metal Stream Radio, and I've got a really cool show for you today. We've got a special guest on to talk, and I'm going to be playing some great music in the second hour as well. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have a great show, and yeah, like I say, Metal Stream Radio is the only place to really enjoy heavy metal. You know, there's not many radio stations now kind of playing a wide variety of heavy metal, or even heavy metal at all. So we're proud to be, you know, flying the flag for heavy metal and keeping it alive. And yeah, so much cool music. We've got some new music today you might have never heard, so hopefully you'll have someone new to listen to. And it's a collaborator of mine who I've worked with a few times, but she also does her own stuff and many different projects. She's always busy working away on different tracks and projects, and she's called Sofia from the States, and she's in a group called Exiled Hope, which is her own group, and also Forgotten Shrine. So yeah, Sofia, great to have you on. How are you doing?
Hey, great to be here. I'm doing great. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm I was up early today, so I've been prepping for the show, and yeah, happy to have you on. You're my first kind of live guest like this on Metal Stream Radio. I've done a lot of interviews, you know, with different rock stars and stuff, which I play clips of on here, but this is the first kind of live thing I've done. So yeah, great to have you on, and just for people to find out about a new artist they can listen to. So tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and you know, how long you've been doing it.
So I make symphonic metal as Exiled Hope, and Exiled Hope is actually my solo project, so it's just me singing and doing all the instrumentals myself. And I'm also in a folk metal band called Forgotten Shrine, where I'm the singer and I write some of the lyrics, play some of the guitar, and then my bandmate Josh does all the other instruments. We have way too many instruments, some would say. You know, we do everything from like banjo to mandolin, all kinds of folky instruments in Forgotten Shrine. So I have those two projects kind of running concurrently together, and yeah, those are my main musical focus right now, symphonic metal and folk metal. But with Exiled Hope, I blend a lot of different genres, so like it's not always what you would typically expect to hear from symphonic metal. Like when you think of symphonic metal, you usually think of bands like Nightwish and Within Temptation, things like that, and I do have some of that influence, but I also pull from black metal, death metal, doom metal, thrash, even lots of power metal. So it's a really wide range of genres, range of sounds that I pull into my music, and I just kind of do whatever I want as long as I feel like it fits the general theme of Exiled Hope.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's generally what my sound is. And lyrically, I explore this fantasy world that I've created with Exiled Hope. Every album is a concept album, and so it all takes place in this dystopian fantasy world where the hero Hope, her mission is to overthrow this corrupt government and reclaim the town and reclaim her city and her culture from this corrupt government that's trying to control everything and control people's minds. And the government that runs the city is made up of this cult of supernatural creatures that commit ritual human sacrifices in order to maintain their powers. And so she uncovers that, and she starts a rebellion, and that kind of kicks off the series of albums and the storyline behind that.
Oh yeah, that's some great theme there. I mean, it's probably some truth in a lot of the weirdness that goes on in the world as well. It's good you're talking about issues that probably go on behind the scenes, and a lot of, you know, Holly weird and all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So yeah, that's great. I do a similar thing, as you know. In a lot of my songs, I try and drop a few truths. And in some of the songs we've done together, like Rise Up, that was one I was proud of, because it had a good message, you know. So that's great. I mean, it sounds a great album and great concept, you know. is a concept album something you kind of prefer doing like that, with a leading theme throughout the album, or is that something new for you?
Yeah, I definitely prefer it. I really love doing concept albums because it kind of pulls all the music together and gives it a central focus, and it kind of takes the listener on a journey as if they're like watching a movie in their head. And I really love albums that do that because it just gets you into not only the music itself but everything about it too, like how it was created and everything. So you're kind of following that story, and it creates a larger than life experience that I feel like is missing from a lot of music today, because you'll see all these people on like TikTok or social media just kind of dropping random singles, and there's nothing really underpinning the work that they're doing. And so I feel like even if I just release EPs or singles that are related to this concept, it gives it that larger than life feel and that kind of lasting message and the enduring, the thing that sticks with people.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
Opposed to just, I'm just going to drop a song here and try to go viral here and there. And I feel like it has more staying power if you center it around a concept.
That's true, yeah, and it kind of draw people into, if they only hear one song, they might want to hear the end of the story, so they continue to listen to the rest of the album, the rest of the songs. So I've always thought concept albums are cool. Judas Priest did one with Nostradamus. It's one of the first albums I got, and I love that album. It was amazing. Some people hate it, and I think it's the people who can't get into that idea of a concept album, but King Diamond's done a lot of concepts, Abigail and all that stuff. Great songs, great albums. So it can work, and for what you're doing, I think it's great. Certain artists probably do it better than other ones, and you've got the right kind of sound and style to make something that's kind of quite dramatic, and because you, like you say, you got the symphonic element to the music you make as well, which is nice to have all the strings and everything that you include in different songs and stuff, and hear different instrumentation, which a lot of heavy metal isn't about that, is it? It's more just guitar riffs, basic stuff, guitar riffs and heavy vocals as well, screaming vocals, whatever. But having a bit of drama and a bit of intrigue is good. I think having something different. It's really cool that you do that, and I'm going to play a song next up from your Forgotten Shrine band, which I don't know if you want to tell us about this song. It's Where Shadows Lie we're going to play, and maybe when you started the band. Yeah,
so I've been nagging Josh, my bandmate, to make music with me since like 2021, and we did release a cover of I Wish I Had an Angel by Nightwish.
Oh, that was great.
On my YouTube channel several years ago. But then things kind of fell off after that because life got in the way and we were too busy to work together.
Yeah.
But then late in 2023, Josh approached me with this opportunity that another artist had presented to him, and he wanted both of us to feature on this song. And we decided, well, if we're both going to feature on the song, we should probably have an artist name that we're working under. And so we settled on Forgotten Shrine, and then we were like, oh, hell yeah, it's all happening now, and we can't just stop this momentum that we've created. So Where Shadows Lie came from that, and it was a song that Josh had been working on for a while, and we were finally like, hey, this is the perfect time to release it because we're, riding on the momentum of this other release that we had contributed to, and we just felt like it was the perfect time to finally get things going. Brilliant. And so he created the instrumental, and then I wrote some of the lyrics and sang on it, and he was like, wow, this is perfect. This is exactly what I've been wanting to create for the longest time.
Wow.
And so from there we decided, we're going to form this partnership called Forgotten Shrine and, start maybe working on an album or an EP. And we actually have a new single coming out on October 21st. It's called Terror at the Ballroom. And it's a very fun kind of folky dance metal song, very catchy and very different from the drama that I create in Exiled Hope, but it's a different style for me. It's a lot of fun. I think, if you're a fan of Exiled Hope already, or if you're a fan of Forgotten Shrine, you'll love this quirky new direction that we're taking the music in.
Brilliant, yeah. It's great to see a different side to you, to Exiled Hope as well, and see, you can do a lot of things. And yeah, it's a great song, and a great band name, I must say. Forgotten Shrine, you need a good name for a band, and it's something that's going to stick with people, and that is great. Forgotten Shrine when I first heard that name, I thought, that is good. It sounds like a proper heavy metal band, and it's got the right name. But yeah, this is a great song, so we're going to play Where Shadows Lie. Right, great song there. That was really cool. I'm glad you two got together, because you definitely got like a chemistry. So yeah, that was really awesome. Do you have any fond memories of recording that song? Anything any challenges you had or anything, or did it all go pretty smooth?
Yeah, so the funny thing about this song is that it went really smoothly, and Josh didn't have much of a melody in mind aside from the chorus, so he just kind of let me run wild on the verses and kind of do whatever I wanted, add screams here and there, switch up the melody here and there, and so I think we were both pleasantly surprised with how it turned out, given that we kind of just improvised a lot of it, and we didn't have the direction solidly in place when we were recording it. So he sent his parts to me, and I recorded over them, and then I sent my parts back to him, and he was like, wow, this is great. And yeah, that's kind of just how we work together. Like, there's not a ton of back and forth, because I feel like even though we may not have a solid idea of where we're going at first, everything kind of seamlessly blends together just because we really get the way that the other person works. We listen to a lot of the same music, we like a lot of the same artists, and we like a lot of the same styles of music, so it just kind of, it's this intuitive thing where we just kind of get what the other person's thinking, and then we're like, oh yeah, this is gonna work.
Yeah, it's a total chemistry, isn't it? It's I remember Satchel telling me that when I interviewed him, that with Steel Panther, he discovered when they had a chemistry together. It's just like, it's a magic that just happens, and it's an amazing thing. When a band has chemistry, you've got something. And yeah, I can see you two definitely got a good chemistry, and he was singing a bit on there as well, wasn't he? That was good to hear on the chorus there. Nicer harmonies and stuff.
Yeah, he's been working on his singing a lot more lately. He's been getting into screaming too, so you'll hear him scream on our upcoming song "Terror at the Ballroom."
Ah, nice. I look forward to that one. Yeah, it'd be good to hear some screaming. And talking of screaming, you do a lot of screaming vocal as well. I guess more in the Exiled Hope stuff, is it? Or do you do a bit of that with Forgotten Shrine?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I know with that.
I do it on Forgotten Shrine too, and we're going to have much heavier songs on the upcoming EP, or the upcoming album, whichever we decide to do. Sure, yeah. So even though the singles don't prominently feature the harsh vocals, the songs that make the album definitely will. So keep your eyes peeled for the whole thing, because it's going to showcase the entire range of what Josh and I can do.
Great. Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, it sounds really cool. And that was a great song. I got it added to my playlist. So I'm glad to have found it. And so go into the stuff we've done, because obviously we've collaborated a ton over the past, I don't even know how many years. Is it 5 by now, or I don't know.
5 by now. Yeah, we started in 2020, and then.
You got better memory than me. Better memory than me. You got better memory than me. I couldn't remember what year it was, but I knew it was a long time. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, because I can't even remember. Do you remember how we first chatted with each other and come across each other? I cannot recall it, but when...
I think we just started following each other on Instagram and started sending memes and chatting.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
The way that I make most of my friendships online.
Yeah. No, it was good, because I've been lucky to have a few people kind of approach me in the past through YouTube and things like that, who I've ended up collaborating with. People just saying, "Oh, I can mix this for you if you want," or I can. Or just telling me they want to collaborate. And I've met all my collaborators online, but you've always been one of my main ones, where we've done a ton of stuff and a variation of stuff, even synth pop and kind of obscure synth pop and gothic sounds, and some proper black metal as well, and everything in between. Obviously, probably our biggest hit so far is Mexico. I think that's got to be the biggest one, right? And that's had a lot of good stuff on TikTok and stuff. People using it for their videos, and obviously we had John from Bronxky Beat on it, so that was amazing to have a special guest on our song. 80s legend, Hit That Perfect Beat, of course, his big hit in the 80s, and great voice still to this day. That was a really cool song. I really enjoyed doing that one with you. I guess we can talk about that one a little bit, because it'd be cool to know what you were thinking when you did Mexico. What was your kind of when you were coming up with the music? Because I guess we must have discussed the vibe. I can't remember exactly, but I guess I must have told you I want kind of a happy kind of holiday vibe for a change, because we were usually just doing dark gothic stuff. So, yeah, do you remember anything
Yeah.
about doing Mexico when you were recording?
Yeah, so the way I think I approached it the way that we normally approach our songs, in the sense that since you're usually up for anything,
Yeah.
I take our songs as an opportunity to try different things that I wouldn't normally try.
Nice.
So when you mentioned that you wanted like this kind of poppy tropical acoustic beat, I started playing around with different presets in my DAW in Logic, which is what I use to record. And so I started playing around with this tropical inspired drum beat, and I thought, oh, this is gonna lay a good foundation for a, Mexico tropical holiday sounding song. And I just started strumming my guitar over that, and I put kind of a classical guitar sounding setting on the guitar so that it would fit the theme. And I kept it simple. I just mostly strummed with my chords, didn't overcomplicate it much. And yeah, I think the vibe came together really well, because with something like that, you just want to keep it focused and to the point, if you're doing something more pop-oriented.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of my pop songwriting that I do for you, it tends to be very, very focused, straightforward, very catchy, a lot of focus on melody and repetition, and that's kind of how I approached Mexico, and it obviously turned out very well because it's our biggest song.
Yeah, definitely. No, you nailed it. The music is really... It was exactly what I wanted, which, I won't say is a rare thing, but for any song, usually there might be something, it goes in a different direction or whatever, but that was one song, just what was in my mind. You seemed to get what I was wanting, and it would come out perfectly. And yeah, I mean, lyrically, because obviously I write all my own lyrics, unless we decide to do some kind of collaboration like a Exiled Hope mashup, which we'll be hearing in a minute, a kind of one of your songs that I guessed it on. But the fun for me is when other people make music for me. Sometimes I'll give them a few ideas of what I want, and sometimes, like you often do, you'll surprise me with little pieces of music which you've come up with, and the fun is writing to that music, because I love, it's probably one of my favourite things, the lyrical aspect of doing music. That's probably the best part, I think. Although I love the singing bit, that's always good. But the lyrics I love to kind of write, and yeah, it kind of was everything I needed to kind of tell this story, which, thinking back now, it was kind of more of a manifestation, because I think I hadn't actually come to Mexico yet when we wrote that song. I think it was my first kind of foreign holiday, and I wrote all this stuff in the song, which ended up coming true. I ended up getting married to a Mexican and living out here now. So that was quite weird how everything fell into place, because all the lyrics on that song and stuff was written before I went, and then I think I had the song, so when I come to Mexico, I thought I'll film lots of footage in Mexico for the music video, which is equally as fun. Very fun music video. So just lots of clips of me enjoying Mexico and meeting my wife for the first time. So it's really weird, unique song, Not everyone's got a song about the first time they meet their wife or whatever, So
Before it even happens.
Yeah, before it happens, yeah. But, but I'm a strong believer in that, and, and in God, I think, God's got a plan, and if you put your mind to anything, most things can happen, and, if you got faith and stuff, and you believe in what you're doing, often things work out. And I guess sometimes you got to just visualize things. And yeah, it was a great song, which I wasn't planning to play actually, but as I got chatting with you and thinking about, our best song, I thought I can't really not play it. So, it'd be great for people to hear it. So I'll play that one, and we'll go into something cool we did after as one of your projects for Exiled Hope. But yeah, this is Mexico, guys, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it, because it's a really fun one, and we sure had a blast making it, didn't we? So yeah, here goes with Mexico. I'm in Mexico. Right.
Traveling across the ocean, forget about the Coco Bongo, let's do the tango. One more night, please. Found somewhere to be truly happy. Freedom in this paradise. Waiting for the love to find me. So we can be finally together.
There we have it, Mexico. Yeah, really fun song there, and yeah, it's available everywhere if anyone wants to check it out and listen to it some more. Yeah, it's available everywhere. And yeah, great fun on that song. But yeah, you can check out some of our more obscure songs and different things we've done. We've even collaborated with Tim Ripper Owens, haven't we, on Cyberwar. I know that was special.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was special for you, wasn't it? You're a big fan of Ripper, aren't you?
Yep. I'm a huge fan of Ripper, especially his Ice Earth material. He is fantastic in Ice Earth.
Yeah, excellent voice, and he can kind of put his voice to anything, which is quite interesting with him. Is he's versatile for sure. You know, he can pretty much put his voice to everything. There was even a performance with that Sepultura. I don't know how you pronounce it, but
yeah, Sepultura. Yep.
Yeah, he did. I don't know if you've seen that, but he sang with them, a completely different style of metal, but he nailed that as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, worth checking out. But yeah, we were lucky to have him on Cyberwar, which that was a weird song because we. I think I did something when I was doing Changes in You, which was like one of my big songs, which I did in the studio. One of the only songs I went into a proper studio and did it in Bristol in England. And I had Dom Jolly, famous comedian, in the music video. So it was quite a big deal, that song. But we were going to work on this metal song as well. And I think the guy who I was doing it with, I recorded some vocals. And that's all I had. I had these vocals for a rough guide of a song, but we never got around to completing it. I think it was taking a long time to get back in the studio to do that one, and I just suggested I do it with you instead because you're my main collaborator. I said, I think my friend can knock up some different music but use my vocal kind of thing, and that's what we did. So you managed to come up with music which suited the vocal I already had, which is a very different way to do things for us, but you did great. You did a great job, and yeah, it's kind of a raw song, and that was quite a dystopian song lyrically. All about the kind of cyber
it's a very raw, like 90s inspired heavy metal track,
Yeah, and Ripper was great, and again, even his vocal I had from another song I'd done with him, and he was really digging Cyberwar, so he said, use the vocal, so I used like a part of the vocal, and so it's a real kind of scramble of a song from different areas, vocals from me in the studio, music from you, completely unique music, and then Ripper from another song which he did with me, Razor Edge, and yeah, it was good to use his voice in a different way, you know. So that was fun, and we've done other stuff as well. We've got Into the Mosh most recently. That was fun. That was a very thrashy kind of song.
Oh yeah. I love writing thrash riffs. It's just so much fun to play.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. Lyrically, it's probably the first thrash metal song I've done, and it was fun actually, vocally more than lyrically actually. Lyrically, I just thought, you know, keep it a bit dumb because, you know, thrash is just about banging your head. In my mind, I just wanted kind of lyrics just for the masses on that one, which is rare for me, but in a way I just wanted to celebrate metal and rocking out and thrashing out. I think I did have a few themes throughout it. I dropped a few little things which, you know, I leave people to dissect themselves what they think the song's about. There's a few things in there, but mainly it was just about rocking out, thrashing out, and I approached it kind of completely different vocally. It was a one take thing, just kind of, I had these lyrics and I wanted something punchy, and yeah, I enjoyed it. Into the Mosh was good fun actually, and yeah, I think it's had quite a good response on Spotify so far. People seem to be streaming it, which is good, and I think Into the Mosh is a very attention grabbing title. So you got Caught in the Mosh, haven't you, from Anthrax, so kind of similar.
Yeah,
which I like to reference other songs. Sometimes it makes it interesting, you know, and it is a bit of an Anthrax vibe going on compared to anything we've done before. Yeah.
I really love Anthrax, and I think they're underrated, so prepare to hear more of that from me.
No, that's good. It's good to hear you speak about things. Yeah, I mean, Joey Belladonna, he's an amazing voice, you know, but they've had many singers. Is he your favourite of Anthrax, or do you like some of the other singers?
Oh, yeah, I would say he is definitely my favourite from Anthrax, and actually I really love their later material. There was an album that they did, oh man, I'm blanking on the name, but there was an album that they did around like 2011 that was just killer. It's like, it's not one of their classic albums, but I honestly think it's their best work. He's one of those singers that just keeps getting better with age.
Absolutely.
And that's a rare thing.
Yeah. No, he's brilliant, and he's great. He's actually been a big supporter of Metal Stream Radio as well. He's collaborated on a few posts I put up on Instagram. He's allowed me to collaborate with him to show all his followers that, you know, we're playing some Anthrax and stuff on the station, and, you know, just helping me promote the show, which is cool. You know, he's obviously a big, you know, fan of metal as well as a metal singer, and it's great to see him supporting, you know, radio stations that play heavy metal, you know, because there's not many about, and yeah, he seems a great guy. I mean, he introduced one of my other songs as well, Alien Invasion. He like introduced the song, so he's just a nice guy. It's kind of, you hope, you know, you kind of hope that out of these big rock stars, that they're humble and all these kind of stuff, and often they're letdowns and they're not how you'd hope they are, but he's definitely an exception. He seems just as real as you can get, and kind of supportive of the new artists and different things that are coming out, and I think that's really important, you know, if people want to keep heavy metal alive, and kind of, you know, it's nice to have the big guys, you know, kind of help you out when you can, because it's a hard world these days to get stuff out there and stuff, so it's great that he's modest in that way, you know, and no ego, so yeah, he seems a really good guy, and that voice is amazing, you know, he's really can belt it out. Different voice as well for thrash, you know, not many thrash metals would have a singer like that, you know, it's a completely different voice than what you'd expect. Kind of like if Ronnie James Dio sang thrash, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, great voice. Next up we're going to get on to a song that you had me guest on, and it's a really nice song. You did the lyrics on this one because it's your song. It's from Exiled Hope, and it was a great song, which I was honoured to get on and do a kind of different kind of vocal as well, I think, than what I usually do, so that was nice. And I think you had Josh mix and master it, was that right?
Yeah, I did. I had it professionally mixed and mastered, and yeah, that was a really fun one. I kind of had that 80s ballad vibe in mind, so that's why I asked you to sing on it, because you do so well with that style. So I was like, hey, I have this song that might be perfect for you, because it's a little bit different from what I usually do for Exiled Hope. It's more of a ballad with a bit of like an 80s synth influence, I would say. So yeah, I just felt like, it would be the perfect feature for you. So I decided, hey, get on this song and let's see what we can do together.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I did. It's a really kind of magical track. Lyrically, you really, you were talking about the concept thing earlier and creating a kind of story in people's minds. I mean, this one definitely does that. And I love being a part of it, and both of our voices together was a great thing to do. Nice to have that kind of contrast, and I think it's really cool. So I'm really proud of it. Probably one of my most proud songs, and definitely my most proud collaboration. I've guested on a few people's songs over the years, and this one always stands out. It's one I'd want people to hear. If someone said, "Oh, what have you sang on?" It'd definitely be this one. I'd be promoting, and I have in the past. So yeah, I'm glad to be able to share this one with everyone. So yeah, enjoy this, guys. It's called Dreamwalker by Exiled Hope.
In the cold summer nights, you haunted my dreams. So near and yet so far. All I want is to know you and understand why. Why have you chosen me? Would you burn with me when all our hopes fade? Would you sing to me the tales of your life? Would you let me into the halls of your soul, where we'll pick up all the pieces? In the dead of the night, Dreamwalker, you're there. You remind me before I knew you. When the morning comes, I want you to show me who you are. Would you burn with me when all our hopes fade? Would you sing to me the tales of your life? Would you let me into the halls of your soul, where we'll pick up all the pieces? Dreamwalker, speak to me. Dreamwalker, dreadful walker. Dreamwalker, dreamwalker, speak to me. Dreamwalker, dreadful
Right, and then we have Dreamwalker. So yeah, that was a great song, even if I do say so myself, but I can because you wrote it. So I was just glad to be on it. But really nice. I really enjoyed doing that song, and I think I showed a different side to my voice on that one, more of a natural voice that I have, my natural voice, because as a singer you kind of put on different voices often, you know, and try different things. But that was more me. I think that was a good representation of like my real voice, which is always nice. It's nice when you can use your real voice, and yeah, I love it. It's really cool and got nice kind of keys on it, you know, really nice kind of whatever it is you added on there, that kind of orchestra type vibe. It's really nice. Yeah. Do you know what instrumentation's on there? I don't know.
Yeah, I used a string section, so a lot of what you're hearing is like it's a synth, but it's intended to sound like a cello, violin, viola, instruments like that. That's
great. Yeah. It's funny actually. It reminds me of that Nostradamus album by Judas Priest. I remember reading I read somewhere they brought in violinists, but like 2 or 3 violinists, but then they doubled it up like 100 times or whatever to make it sound like a full orchestra.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's even the
I'll do that often.
Yeah, exactly. Even the big guys do that kind of thing where, you know, they're not going to get a whole orchestra for it, but the same, you know, it's more kind of inventive. And even back in the day with British Steel album, they were like whipping the table and dropping the cutlery drawer for the sound in Metal Gods, just like a machinery sound, kind of sound. That was just a cutlery drawer they dropped on the floor. So I love that kind of thing, and we're quite like that. We're kind of do what we can to create a sound, and, you know, out of what we've got.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that's what music's all about. We're all about showing people that you can make music however you want to make music. You know, don't let your equipment or anything limit you, because in time you can get new equipment and stuff in time and stuff. But I'd say if you want to write a song, you want to record a song, just do it, because people aren't always that critical. I look back on when I started, and I used to just turn on the record button on my phone and strum the guitar and sing some stuff. And people really liked it, some of the stuff I did, and were really impressed. But it was no sort of professional recording or anything. So sometimes you just got to record your voice, record you singing something, and, you know, evolve from there, you know. And there's apps and things you can use to kind of record yourself. And, yeah, do what you can, you know, even if you just got your phone to record stuff, you know. Things can be tweaked and different things just to, you know, sound good. And it's all DIY, I think. In a way, that's the best way to do it, because you know, it's nice to get in a studio, do things properly when you can, but when you can't, you know, don't stop creating for that reason. You know, keep creating, keep. I
mean, I record everything just from my office at home. So it's not a professional setup at all. Honestly, it's just a couple of plugins that I have. I just have a USB port that I, you know, plug my guitar and my interface, my mic into, and, you know, it's nothing fancy, but I think, especially in the early stages, it's a lot more important to invest in your skill set over investing in more equipment that'll just stack up and that you may not necessarily know how to use effectively at first, because, you know, nothing is going to cover up a bad performance, no matter how much you dress it up with fancy equipment. So it's, you know, obviously you want your recording to sound good, but you can do that for very cheap with very, like, low-cost recording equipment. And, yeah, it might not sound super high-end, but, you know, the important thing is that your performance is solid and that your songwriting is good, because you can't cover that up with fancy equipment.
Exactly. It's all about the song, you know. If you've got a good song, you got a good song, you know. And, you know, I think some people will argue, you know, if you've got a good song, only release it if you've done it really polished and stuff. You know, I can kind of see both sides to it, but also I don't, because I don't go with that mindset. And, you know, do things the best you can and put it out there, see what happens, you know. Not everything's got to be perfect. I think there's you know, I've heard different things. I think it depends on the genre somewhat as well. Metal, you can get away with a bit more of a raw sound. Sometimes in pop music, people are so conditioned to hear this overly commercial sound that if you don't sound overly commercial, maybe sometimes people don't want to listen to it as much. But who knows who's really got the statistics on that, you know. Like we say, you don't really need all this stuff. I mean, Mantis from Venom, I interviewed him and stuff, and he very clearly said, you know, it's all about the songs, and, you know, it's not about the equipment. He's got an old computer that you record stuff on, and, you know, obviously Venom were a raw black metal band, so kind of makes sense for them in a way. But at the same time, these days, even now, he's still recording stuff and got a good fan base. And yeah, he ain't doing anything overly over the top kind of production. He's just got his equipment he's got and basic kind of stuff, you know, and yeah, he just makes the songs. That's what it's all about, and it sounds great, you know. And you learn a lot along the way, you know. I've learned how to mix my vocals better over the years, and I've learned about, you know, trying to make sure your voice don't peak on the recording and different stuff. Peaking is where it like kind of sounds, so I tried to avoid that, you know. I know you know that, but just for whoever's listening, if they don't know what that is, but you know, things like that you learn along the way, and microphone guards and stuff you can use to stop that happening, different things. But anyway, you can learn stuff, you can evolve, and sometimes it's your early stuff. I mean, one of the first songs, there was a guy I used to work with called Zachary. I don't so much now, but he did my very first songs, and we had a song called Unfaithfully Yours. And that's one of my top songs now on Spotify. It's had like 1,000 streams or something this week, and it's like, yeah, it's always getting thousands of streams. And that was one of my first songs, and one I consider pretty raw vocally and stuff, and the recording and my voice maybe not the best, but it's one of the top songs at the moment. So it goes to show, you know, it doesn't always matter, you know. People, if the song's good and stuff, the song's good. So yeah, that's probably my last main note on that kind of thing. But yeah, and yeah, even with that song Dreamwalker, I think for that one I'm pretty sure I just recorded on my phone, because I got a fairly good quality sound recorder on my phone. I'm pretty sure I just recorded my vocals on my phone, because sometimes a phone has a good sound recorder, not always, you know. I got lucky with the one I got, but yeah. And I don't think you'd know it because it's had a good bit of production on it. But yeah, because I'm always in different places, you know, I can't always have my equipment with me. But, you know, I'll just get on with it. And yeah, if that can be recorded with a phone, my vocal and stuff, and it still sounds good, there's hope. There's exiled hope. But yeah, no, there's hope.
Don't exile your hope because you don't have top-notch equipment.
Exactly. Don't exile your hope. Right, and on that note, we're going to play The Summoning, and yeah, I thank you for coming on today on Metal Stream Radio, and yeah, is there anything you want to tell us about this song before we play it? The Summoning.
Yeah, The Summoning is actually an older song that I finished in 2021, but I only released it in 2023 because, you know, it needed some time to develop and percolate and needed some time to, like, be properly produced and properly mixed and mastered, and I'm super, super happy with the result. It's one of my favorite songs that I've done because it blends this very, like, doomy, gloomy intro with just this black metal, all these black metal elements that just hit you in the face. And it's one of those rare moments where something sounds exactly as it did in my head on the recording.
Brilliant.
So it's a very special song to me for that reason.
No, that's really cool, and yeah, I think everyone's gonna love it. It's really, really great vocals, and yeah, enjoy, guys. So this is The Summoning. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, all the best for the next releases you've got with Forgotten Shrine and your own projects with Exiled Hope and our projects. We got to have lots of luck for our things. Maybe a reggaeton song next. Who knows? Try something.
Who knows? Let's try. Give it a shot.
Try something different. Right. Thanks, Sophia. Thanks for coming on today.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll speak soon. And yeah, I'll be up next for another hour on Metal Stream Radio, guys. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy this. This is The Summoning.
by the ghost of who I used to be, and suddenly from the dead beneath the morning star, these ghosts will never leave us until I find my truth. These ghosts will never leave us.
Right, that was Exiled Hope with The Summoning. Very cool song, and you can hear she's really got this varied sound, you know, so many different sounds within her music, very versatile kind of thing, which is great. And yeah, she's always been one of my favourites to work with. You know, I've only got a couple of people I work with, and they're all great. You know, I kind of, once I found my people, I'm happy, and I have, for sure. I've been very blessed with the people I work with, and we're very much on the same page. And yeah, Sofia particularly, we can do a wide variety of stuff. And then I've got Carmine in America as well, who does a lot of my really kind of classic heavy metal stuff, which obviously is a big thing for me. Yeah, so they're my main collaborators at the moment. And yeah, we're always talking about different song ideas, and like I say, it's nice to have the freedom to do anything in any kind of direction. And Sofia definitely does that. She can do a wide variety of stuff, you know, and from pop to rock to black metal. Obviously, metal's our main thing. But yeah, we try different things. And Carmine's kind of like my metal guy. He'd do anything metal. So yeah, it's great to have great people to work with. And you know, for me to be able to hear their music is inspiring to me, because I can listen as a fan almost before I write the song. You know, I can hear the piece of music and get inspired, and the lyrics just come to me, you know, often. And yeah, it's great, you know, great to work with people. And it's a different way of doing things, you know, when you don't have a full band. But obviously I'm under the name Metal Matt, so like it's all under my kind of name. And you know, I make sure the songs represent what I want to talk about and things like that. But not having a band is kind of weird, like a full band, like I guess typically in the 80s and things, that's what you do, you have a full band. But things have changed, you know, and these days you can work on your own, you can do everything yourself on a computer, which I'm not very good at, and I'd rather work with someone. But yeah, one person's about enough for me, one at a time, and you know, you just come up with an idea. And luckily, yeah, Sofia's very talented, and you know, she's come up with a lot of great stuff for me, and she can compose, you know, some great pieces of music. And yeah, I'm glad we've done so much cool stuff. So yeah, there's lots of songs we've done. You know, check out all the credits and stuff on all the platforms and that, and you'll see who did what. You know, on each of my songs. Yeah, we've done a ton of stuff over the 5 years or whatever we've worked together. So yeah, that was really cool having Sofia on, and I hope you enjoyed our collaboration on Dreamwalker. But yeah, Sofia's gone now, so it's just me now for the next hour, and I'm going to be talking heavy metal, of course, because that's what we do here on Metal Stream Radio, but also playing some great songs. And I think a great song now is one by Holford, the Holford Band, which is Rob Holford, obviously, on vocals. It was his solo band he did, and it's a really extreme song, and I'd say like a rival to Painkiller. It's as good, if not better, than Painkiller. So if you haven't heard this one, prepare to knock your socks off with Betrayal. Awesome vocals by Rob Holford there, and yeah, they did a really cool music video for that one. I don't think it's that easy to find now.